Hey everyone, welcome back. If you've been grinding through practice test after practice test and your IELTS listening score hasn't budged, don't stress, it's not entirely your fault. Many students focus on memorizing vocabulary or repeating mock tests endlessly, but that alone won't get you to band 8 or 9. Here's the reality. Top scorers don't rely on shortcuts or secret hacks. They understand the test format inside out and follow a proven strategy that anyone can adopt. In this video, I'm breaking down the ultimate IELTS listening guide from the test structure and the intentional difficulty curve to the question types you must master, plus actionable pro tips to boost your score to band 8 or 9. Stick with me by the end, you'll know exactly how to tackle the test like a pro. Let's dive into the essentials of the IELTS listening test. This test is recognized by over 11,000 institutions worldwide, so understanding its structure is crucial if you want to achieve a high score. The test format is the same for both academic and general training candidates, so there are no surprises there. The listening test lasts 30 minutes of continuous audio, followed by a short window at the end to transfer or review your answers. The exact timing depends on whether you're taking the paper-based test or the computer-based test. The test itself is divided into 4 parts with 10 questions in each, making a total of 40 questions. One of the most important rules to remember is that you will only hear each recording once and there's no option to pause. You'll encounter a variety of accents throughout the test, including British, American, Canadian, Australian, and New Zealand. So it's important to train your ear for these variations. Scoring is straightforward. Each correct answer earns 1 point. As a guideline, you generally need 30 correct answers for a band 7, 35 for a band 8, and 38 or more for a band 9. Here's a practical tip. If you're taking the paper-based version, you'll get 10 minutes at the end to transfer your answers to the answer sheet, whereas on a computer, you enter your answers directly and have 2 minutes to review them before submission. Understanding this framework gives you a clear foundation and is your first step toward mastering the IELTS listening test. Now, let's talk about the difficulty curve in the IELTS listening test. The challenge ramps up as you move through the 4 parts. Parts 1 and 2 are generally easier, focusing on everyday conversations and basic information, while parts 3 and 4 are where your final score really takes shape. Recording 1 is a social conversation. Think of it as 2 people chatting in everyday situations, often with form-filling tasks. The key here is to train yourself to catch numbers, dates, and spellings instantly. Precision is everything. Recording 2 is a social monologue where a single speaker provides general information, like describing a local area or amenities. To master this, practice listening to solo podcasts or YouTube talks on topics you enjoy. This will strengthen your ability to follow a single speaker and retain key details. Recording 3 steps up the challenge, an academic conversation with multiple people discussing a topic, like students interacting with a professor. This tests your ability to track opinions, interruptions, and the flow of academic discussion. Listening to debates or discussions with multiple speakers is a great way to train for this part. Finally, recording 4, the academic monologue, also known as the final boss. This is a university-style lecture with complex ideas. To succeed here, listen to TED Talks or academic presentations and pay close attention to signpost words like firstly, however, and in conclusion that guide the structure of the talk. Band 9 students know where to focus. About 20% of their practice goes to parts 1 and 2, but a whopping 80% is spent on parts 3 and 4. This is where you truly win or lose your score, so prioritize your training accordingly. Now let's dive into the question types you'll face in the IELTS listening test and the trap that catches many candidates off guard, the word limit. First up, completion tasks. These include sentence completions, tables, flowcharts, or summaries. Your goal is simple but precise. Fill in the gaps with information exactly as is presented in the recording. Accuracy here is key. Next, short answer questions. These require concise, fact-based responses. Think numbers, names, or locations. Get straight to the point. Then we have multiple choice questions where you select one or more correct options. These test not only your attention to detail but also your ability to grasp the overall meaning of what you hear. Matching questions challenge you to link items from the audio to descriptors on the paper. This tests your ability to track relationships and organize information efficiently. Finally, labeling tasks such as maps, diagrams, or plans. These require you to follow directional instructions carefully, often while keeping track of spatial information in real time. And here's the crucial tip: watch the word limits. If the instructions say no more than 2 words, exceeding that will mark your answer wrong. Even hyphenated words count as a single word, so stay precise and disciplined. Mastering these question types while respecting word limits is what separates Band 7 and 8 candidates from Band 9 scorers. Now let's talk about how to prepare like a Band 9 candidate, the secrets that can transform your IELTS listening score. First, build your listening stamina. Treat it like training for a marathon. Start by focusing for 5 minutes in week 1, then gradually extend your sessions until you can maintain sharp attention for the full 30 minutes. Concentration is just as important as English skills on test day. Next, train harder than the test itself. The IELTS recordings are clear and slow compared to real-life English. Challenge yourself by listening to natural speed conversations, noisy environments, or interrupted speech. This way, when test day arrives, the audio will feel almost too easy. Another key tip: listen only once. When practicing, don't replay the recordings. Simulate real exam conditions and answer immediately. This builds the mental agility needed to catch information the first time, exactly like the test expects. Listen actively and reflectively. Focus on specific weaknesses, whether it's a tricky accent or understanding multiple speakers. After each session, analyze mistakes carefully. Was it spelling, vocabulary, or timing? Adjust your strategy to target those weak points. Make the most of your review time. Use the moments between sections, not just to check answers, but to scan the next set of questions. This gives you a huge advantage in parts 3 and 4, where speed and comprehension matter most. Finally, demand clear audio. If possible, choose a computer-based test with headphones. It reduces distractions and makes comprehension easier. And if the audio is unclear on test day, speak up to the test center staff immediately. Pro tip: platforms like Mockmaster allow you to practice full listening tests under real exam conditions with AI scoring, pinpointing exactly where you need improvement. For structured, expert-led guidance, One Australia offers step-by-step courses designed to refine strategy, vocabulary, and comprehension, everything you need to push your score to Band 9. Here's the brutal truth about IELTS listening. The test controls the pace, not you. There are no shortcuts, no tricks. Success comes from mastering the format, perfecting every question type, and steadily building your stamina. So don't wait. Start your Band 9 preparation today. Download the resources linked in the description, practice under timed conditions, and track your progress carefully. Consistency is what turns strategy into results. If you found this guide helpful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our expert IELTS tips. Stay focused, practice smart, and watch your listening score soar.